Hi everybody, this is Miss Anderson. Welcome to your first day of trimester 2. Sorry I'm not there with you today. I'm at home with a kid who was quarantined from daycare. I'd much rather be there and have my kid be out of quarantine, but hopefully I'll see you later this week. If you have not already gone to pick up the materials from the Flex Hall Supervisor, please go do that now. There's a couple of things for you to get. There's some angle worksheets for you to get, and then a new notes packet too. So that notes packet will be on blue paper. All right, so we're going to start by filling in parts of your Polygon angle toolkit. There are some things that we can fill in just based on knowledge that we have from earlier in the trimester. So first thing that we're going to fill in is the definition of a regular polygon. So hopefully you remember from way back in September that a polygon is a two-dimensional shape that's got straight sides on it. A regular polygon means that it's both equilateral and equiangular. So on your note sheet, you can write in that a regular polygon is equilateral, that means equal sides, and then equiangular, that means it has equal angles. And then here is a list of all of the common polygon names that you're going to need to know during this chapter. So starting with 3 sides, a triangle, all the way up to 13 sides. And then once you get beyond 13 sides or beyond 12 sides, really, you don't need to know the specific names of the polygons. You're just going to write the number of sides dash gon. So the examples you see are on here are 11 gon or 13 gon. But you can have shapes with an infinite number of sides that are just dash gon. So take a moment and pause the video so you can fill that in, and then when you are ready you can go forward, so you can hit play again. Okay, so now we're going to review what you hopefully remember about central angles. So this is a picture of a regular heptagon that's got the central angle there marked angle 1. So I want you to think about what you know is true about the central angles in all of these different shapes. So we've got a triangle here. We're trying to remember what's true about these 3 central angles versus a quadrilateral, what's true about these central angles, or a pentagon. And I want you to go ahead and make your best guess here. Here are some options for what you think would be true about the central angles. Give that your best try, pause the video, and then when you're ready you can check your answer. So they add up to 360 degrees, and the reason is that the central angles always make a circle. Circles add to 360, so those central angles have to add to 360. Next, we're going to talk about interior angles in a regular polygon. There's a couple of different shapes that you probably already know the answer to this for, but you may not know it for all of them. So some of the more common ones that you might remember are a triangle. So we've talked many times this year about how a triangle's angles add to 180. So if you think about a triangle, these 3 angles are going to add to be 180. We also know that quadrilaterals add to 360, but we haven't talked too much about other shapes. So what I'm going to have you do is take a look at the worksheet and try the activity on the worksheet, and then we will see if you can figure out the pattern. All right, so you're going to give this interior angles problem a try, please. So you have a lot of different shapes on your page, and I'll give you an example of how to do the first one. So the first one gives you a quadrilateral, and you'll notice that there's a big dot in the middle. What you're going to do is write in the name of the shape, and then you're going to split it into triangles from that dot that's there. So in this case, you're just going to be connecting right here. And then we are going to hopefully see if we can find a pattern down at the chart in the bottom. So this is split into 2 triangles. So in the chart on the bottom, it's got, number of sides. So under 4 for that, we're going to say that the number of triangles that it gets split into would be 2 triangles. So then if you're trying to figure out what the sum would be, triangles always add to 180. So if there's 180 plus 180, you get 360. I want you to try that activity for all of the shapes on the page, and then hopefully you can figure out what the pattern is. So pause the video, and after you finish the front side of that worksheet on interior angles, you can play the video again. So here are a couple of different examples of shapes that I split into triangles. I'm just going to show you the first few. So you can see that each of these triangles gets split up into 180. And then hopefully you'll be able to tell what these sums are. So the triangle, you're just doing 1 times 180, which is 180. But if we skip ahead and look down at this shape, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles. 6 times 180 gives you 1080. So can you please make your best guess for me? What do you think the relationship is between the interior angles in a triangle? Pause the video and then hit play again when you're ready to check your answer. So there's a formula for this. So the answer is other. You're going to do n minus 2 times 180, where this n that you have right here, n is going to stand for the number of sides on a shape. So for example, if you were looking at a pentagon with 5 sides, you would do 5 minus 2 times 180 to get the sum, and the sum would be 540 if you calculate that. The last type of angle that we're going to look at today is exterior angles. So you can see the exterior angle here is labeled 3 on this particular picture. A key thing for you to note for exterior angles is that exterior angles have to be just an extension of one of the side lengths. So you can see that for this heptagon, I just took this side here and just extended it off so it makes a straight line. So the angle in between that straight line and the other side of the shape is your exterior angle. So the first question that I have for you is, what do you think is the connection between interior and exterior angles? In this picture, the interior angles are kind of that bluish purple color, and then the exterior angles are that kind of reddish pink color. So see if you can figure out what the relationship would be between the interior and exterior angles. Pause the video, and then when you're ready, you can play again to check your answer. Interior and exterior angles add up to 180. The reason is that they make a straight line. So all 3 of these examples, you can see they make a straight line, and we know that straight lines add to 180. So now it's going to be time for you to do the back side of that exterior angle worksheet. There are instructions on the top of the worksheet, so hopefully you can kind of follow along to do your best for that. The one change that I'm going to have you make, since I'm not there today, is instead of having you do a protractor, I'm just going to have you estimate the angles the best you can. The key is going to be to make sure that if you know a triangle, for example, the interior angles add to 180. When you make your estimates, make sure the 3 numbers add to 180. Do the best you can on it, and then we'll go over kind of what you're supposed to get out of that here shortly. So pause the video, and then you can play again once you finish the worksheet. So here is an example of a triangle and the exterior angles on a triangle. So if you look, this happens to be a regular triangle, so all of the exterior angles are the same size. But if you add those 3 angles together, you get a special number. So if you think about what would the relationship be between those exterior angles, make your best guess, pause the video, and then play when you're ready to check. So they add up to 360. So just like central angles, the exterior angles in a shape always add to 360 as well. Okay, so now it's time for us to fill in some more notes, and we're going to take quite a few notes coming up later. The big ones that I want you to fill in right now are just the sum. So central and exterior angles, it's just 360, pretty simple there. The one that seems a little bit more complicated is the one with the formula n minus 2 times 180 for interior angles. And just keep in mind that those interior angles, or that n I should say, stands for number of sides. Okay, so now I'm going to have you do some practice problems where you are going to try to practice setting up equations and solving. I'm going to kind of walk you through this first example so that hopefully the next few examples you can try either on your own or with your group. So if you look at this picture, we've got interior angles in this example. And so what we're going to want to do is count up the number of sides that we have. So 7. We're going to want to subtract 2, multiply by 180 to figure out the sum. So in this case, our sum is 900. Then what we're going to do is just set up an equation. So I'm going to add everything together. I'm going to combine the m's together. So I have 3m. And then I'm also going to add all of those constant numbers. So all of these other numbers here, I'm going to add together. If I do that, I get 501. And then the grand total we set up here is 900, so I'm going to equal that to 900. You're going to want to solve that equation. If you solve that equation, you'll get the answer. So in this case, m is 133. So I'd like you to pause the video, try the next few problems. Again, you can try them with your group. Some of them are a little challenging, so I'll go through the answers here, but pause the video for now and then give them a try. Okay, so here's the next example. This is a hexagon. So we have 6 sides, so we're going to do 6 minus 2 times 180, which is 720. And then our equation would be 6x, you just add all the x's together, 6x equal to 720. And if you solve that, you get 120. Next, we have these two shapes that are combined together. My suggestion for this would be to focus first on the shape that's down here at the bottom. So you can see that we have a pentagon there. So we're going to use that idea in a minute. But the other thing that we can do here is to try to figure out the missing angles. So if you look at the triangle on the top, it's an isosceles triangle. Triangles are going to add up to be 180. So 64 plus, you can call it x or something like that, 64 plus 2x is going to equal 180. If you solve that equation, you can find that those missing angles are 58. And then because we have a straight line right here, those two angles are going to add to 180. So x plus this blank angle, I'm going to call it y for now, is going to be 180. You know, so 58 plus y is 180, which means that that missing angle there is 122. So on this slide here, I've got all of the missing angles filled in. And then again, paying attention to the idea that I've got this pentagon at the bottom, I'm going to use 540 when I write my equation. So if I do k plus all of these angles on the bottom added together, you're going to want to make sure you do 88, 122, 90. Don't forget the 90 and 96 added together. That's how I came up with 396. This next shape is a pentagon again, and it seems a little tricky because we've got these two missing angles, but the key thing here is that we've got parallel lines. Since we have parallel lines, you have to think about what kind of angles those two things are. It actually doesn't matter how much they add up to or how much they are individually. What matters is what they add up to be. And since they're same side interior angles, they're going to add up to be 180. So pentagons again are going to be 540 just like the previous problem. And then those two angles combined are 180. So if you write your equation this time, we're going to combine the y, so we're going to have 5y. And then we're also going to add the 135 and the 180 in there, set it equal to 540, and if you solve that equation, you will get your answer. All right, so now we're moving on from interior angles. This picture has exterior angles, so remember that the exterior angles are going to add to 360. When you create your equation, you want everything to add together to 360. So in this case, 25x minus 10 equals 360. If you solve that, you get 14.8. This picture, we've got a central angle. So this time, if we're dealing with a central angles are going to add up to be 360. You've got a couple choices for how to set up your equation. You could think about, okay, I know I've got a regular shape, so that means that all of the central angles here in the middle are all the same size, so they're all 4x plus 9. You could either take 360 and divide by 6 to figure out that each individual angle is 60. Or if you want to, you could say, I know that each of these angles is 4x plus 9. And so what I could do is multiply that by 6, since I know there's 6 of them that are all the same size. So here's your two options for the equations. You could do 4x plus 9 equals 60. That's how big each angle is. Or you could multiply the angles by 6, So 4x times 6 is 24x, and then 9 times 6 is 54. Equal that to 360 to get your answer. Here we're back to interior angles again. So we've got a 5-sided shape. 5 minus 2 times 180, you might remember from earlier, is 540. So we're going to use that to set up our equation. If you combine all the x's together, you get 34x, and then plus 217 if you combine these two angles, equal to 540. Solve that and you got your answer. In this picture, we have an exterior angle and an interior angle side by side. You can see here that they make a straight line, so they're going to add up to be 180. So 3x plus 6x is 9x, 6 and 12 is 18, and then they equal 180. All right, finally, here's the last set of problems for you to try. And here's the answer, so go ahead and check your answers, see if you did everything correctly. Okay, now we're going to go through and take a whole bunch of notes. So I'm going to flip through these slides. Feel free to pause so that you can fill everything in as we go. We're going to do some boxes today, and then we're going to do some later on as we kind of develop more skills. So first of all, for the number of sides, if you're trying to figure out an exterior angle, you're just going to do 360 divided by n. If you're trying to do central angle, it's the exact same thing. So in the exterior and the central angles are actually going to be the same size. Interior angles, I would recommend that you do 2 steps for that. So the first thing I would do is 360 divided by n. That'll tell you how big the exterior angle is. And then if you do 180 minus that answer for the exterior angle, it'll tell you how big the interior angle is. And then finally, for the sum of the interior angles, you're just going to do n minus 2 times 180. If you go to the next section with central angles, we're just going to try to figure out how you can determine the number of sides. So you're just going to do 360 divided by your central angle, and you get the number of sides. It's actually the exact same thing for exterior angle. If you do 360 divided by your exterior angle, you will get the number of sides. Now I also have here, how do you do an interior angle? You're just going to do 180 minus your exterior to get your interior. If you start knowing an interior angle, you can figure out an exterior angle fairly quickly. You just do 180 minus your interior. And then to determine the number of sides, you're going to do 2 steps. You're going to do 180 minus your interior. That'll tell you how big your exterior angle is. And then if you do 360 divided by that exterior angle, you'll know the interior. Or the number of sides, I should say. Okay, finally, for the number of sides, given the sum of the interior angles, you're going to start with that sum. You're going to divide by 180 and then add 2. Your last task for today is to work on the homework assignment. You can find it on Canvas, but keep in mind we're in a new trimester, so we have a new Canvas page today. Make sure that you are looking at the Canvas page for Geometry Block C. You want to make sure that you see Geometry Block C on there. Have a great day, everybody. Hope to see you later this week.